That's rude. You're off camera. Finally. You started a live video.
You did it on mine.
God. Why does this happen to me?
Because you always think it's not.
I changed it. I don't want to share this. Why would I share that? Bunch of clowns. I swore that I changed it before. Obviously I didn't. Yeah, try it. And she still left. Still, I'm out of here. I'll tell you what. We gotta do stuff. We got things to do. We got stuff that's happening. There's things that are going on. Welcome to Thursdays.
I think you should first tell them about your cozy fireplace.
I got a little fireplace, you guys.
I think I was thinking about this. I do think you should have gotten black, but because then we could have put a pipe here, so it was like.
No, we're not gonna fake an electric fireplace.
It'd be so funny, and then we could have like some.
No, it's not happening. Hello.
Right.
Welcome. We're gonna switch spots.
Oh no, we're not.
Just kidding. Yeah, I got a fireplace, electric fireplace. It's designed to heat the actual space we have instead of several space heaters for the upcoming winter. But with my luck, it'll be like a 70-degree winter because of that. So Chloe's full.
Yes.
The pre-order.
Yep.
What else is happening? This is crazy.
I don't know. I'm just working away.
Just working. I don't know.
I don't know what you do.
So that's good.
Yes.
Very
thank
good.
you. No. What the words that you meant to say were thank you guys so much for everyone who ordered a mini Chloe and a Chloe. We're super excited to fill those orders, and yeah, she will be available for regular purchase again November 1st.
Correct.
Because people were asking like who missed
They were.
that. So she will be back. Don't worry.
Just like whenever we're not actively selling, you can go onto the website and put in your email or your phone number and get a text if you want, just like this. Or on your phone, you can do this too. Yeah. Then you can be notified. You don't have to wonder about anything. It just pops up.
True. And you won't be getting any other emails, just that.
We are still waiting on the delivery of olive and natural edge paints.
Oh, yeah, do we have any ETA on that?
I emailed them yesterday and they said, sit tight. No, they said something in French. I don't remember. Bonjour. Hello.
Je suis la jeune fille.
But some bad news potentially is we might not have navy for this next October order week. We'll see.
That has nothing to do with edge paint.
Yeah, that's a
leather
can't get it.
Situation.
So hopefully we'll be able to get that
and it won't be
soon.
an issue,
It might not happen. I just want to put that out there because, you know, leather's a slow process, so it could potentially not be there for October. We're hoping to have olive and natural back.
The natural navy.
And we want to make sure we have that like in-house before we say you can order it.
Yeah. Switch your room here.
Jeez, here we go.
Take your pen with you.
Take my pen. What else did I write down here? Holiday deadline is the 5th of November. Guys, we're fired today. We are so fired. Not allowed to be here.
Trying to get work. We have a running joke too that Nick is retired.
What do you mean we? You have a joke that I'm a retired old man that doesn't do anything.
Accurate.
And takes leisurely naps.
And that's how you hurt your back with your leisurely naps. They were too intense.
It was an intense nap. We have It's a good one.
Now you giggle.
You're going to want to rewatch this one. We have 800 students through our Domestica course, which is super exciting.
It is. Stop laughing.
It's very exciting.
It's actually exciting. He's laughing at how he's a grandpa.
I'm not a grandpa. We have a 5-year-old.
That would be real messed up. If you were a grandpa. And seemingly
All right.
impossible.
I'm done. Any questions? I don't even know what I want to talk about now.
What were you Domestica. We have a bunch of students. 800 students, which is awesome. Stop getting the giggles. We're going to have to cancel this year.
Yeah, this one's
No,
canceled.
I'm
This one's
crying.
canceled. You talk to them.
I can't. I'm trying to get my work done. I told you this already.
We've been thinking about what group of bags we want to curate for spring for the milled collection.
Yeah, don't look at me. Stop
This is
laughing.
just ask questions. This is terrible.
You're making me cry. Rude. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Domestica?
Well, we skipped it.
We skipped what?
Domestica. We're like 2 months in. We have about 800 students, which is really cool.
Yes.
And it's really cool to see people active like on the forum there,
Oh, yeah.
which is fun.
And seeing their pictures of their finished bag and everything.
Mhm.
Very cool. Stop. You're the one making it. You keep
I'm not doing
giggling.
anything. It's not funny.
Enough. You're in trouble now.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen you get a giggle.
It's been a while.
Is there any, like,
No,
liquor in that coffee?
no, there's not. Maybe there should be.
Candy would stop talking now. Hi everyone. How's this going? Sorry, it's Giggle Fest today. And I'm working on a mini Bowery, a big Bowery, and a big LD. And what else? What else is going on? Stop.
We did a collaboration with Red Ring, which was really cool.
Oh yeah. We did a. I am mad at you now.
Go ahead, talk about it.
We did a collaboration with Red Wing. I think we showed you guys
Cannot-
the last week.
Can't hear Leanne.
Do try.
Uh-oh. There should be liquor in the coffee. I don't know what's I'm getting too much
You didn't
fresh
turn this
air.
on. That's
Oh. It helps to turn on your things, guys. Can we reel it in? We'll find out.
definitely
Better?
not. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drunk leather working with Nick.
Oh God, that would.
So
end
for
in
whatever
many
reason,
missing
this is-
fingers.
Personal, I guess.
Oh.
Whenever I drink wine specifically, I like
Cannot.
contemplate the universe heavily, and I won't shut up.
It's true. Just so you know.
I don't drink wine that much.
It's not just wine.
No, wine's especially bad because I notice it,
is.
and I'm like, this guy needs to stop it.
Maybe you should go to a winery. This guy won't shut up.
Anyway, we're having fun apparently.
This is what it's like to work with your spouse.
Oh, we got a video coming out tomorrow.
We do.
Yeah,
We said that.
we do. It's about,
Jamie's
it's about
laughing.
customer service, actually,
Oh,
as an e-commerce business.
did that other one come out?
Which one?
The one you were talking to me about?
Did you? What?
I don't know what you do.
The only other one I think I talked to you about was like our origin story.
No, you recently were asking me a bunch of questions. Like,
Oh, that was for a future idea.
oh, you haven't done that one yet.
No.
What was the one that just came out though? Didn't you just do one?
They come out on Fridays.
I don't know your schedule.
Who's on first?
Definitely not me.
Okay.
Tequila makes me.
I realize you haven't done standalone videos for a while, but don't suppose you could do one using the class 26. I can't find any that are worthwhile. Albanes are confusing. Well, what confuses you about the videos that are out there already?
Yeah,
I mean, we could definitely do that.
or is there something specific about the Cobra that you want to know?
Yeah, we kind of like didn't do anything for August and up until this week. So
Well, we had a lot going on.
we put out. I have one ready to go, and I have another one that we put out the Chloe bag
What's
tour.
the one that's ready to go?
The customer service one.
Yeah.
We did the
I guess I
Chloe
just-
bag tour the week prior.
Oh, that's
then-
right. Yeah.
there's this
Maybe
one.
that's why I'm confused.
I'm trying to do them every week. I know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of aggressive, but
No, I think that's fine. I mean, you are a retired grandpa, so you probably should do something with your life.
she's like, please do something. Stop bugging me.
Well, yeah. Like, no joke.
Look,
Listen,
that's how my life works.
I love
It
you
goes
very
through
much, but you do
phases.
tend to bug the you know what out of me.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about what information you'd like to see out of the class 26.
You just
What
information.
information?
Where are you from?
I don't know.
From Jersey.
Tequila makes me unreasonably angry for some unreason. I can't.
Nick
It
cannot
doesn't make
have
me angry,
tequila.
but it doesn't. It like
It makes you vomit, I think, is what it does.
my body disagrees with it. It's
I
just,
love tequila.
They have a
Give me
conversation.
A
and it's like, no.
margarita. Any day. of the
Maybe
week.
I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not for me. Like even margaritas, like they taste okay, but I'm just like not. My body rejects tequila. I know this is why you came to talk to us. Okay. I know how to load the thread, but I have issues picking up the bottom thread or pulling the piece away after finishing the stitch. So
Wait, say that. Can you just repeat that again?
I know how to load the thread, but I have issues picking up the bobbin thread or putting a piece away after finishing the stitch.
Pulling a piece away?
That's what I'm, oh yeah, pulling, I can't read.
So the first thing, that part I can answer really quick. The second, like the pulling the piece away.
I think they're related, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I also might be misunderstanding the question. But when I go to pull anything out of the sewing machine, like after I'm done sewing, can they see this machine? Yes. I will take the thread from up here and I'll pull that out, and then I pull the thread or the piece out. That way you're
it has
not.
to be, you should be in the top position, the needle.
Oh yeah, of course. The needle should be in
Yeah,
the top
but
position.
let's explain it so that,
But I'm always pulling the thread out from like the arm that goes up and down. That way you're not pulling from your needle, because it's going to be hard if your tension is a little tight, and two, you can bend your needle when you do that.
yeah, and that will be terrible news for your bobbin if you bend the needle.
Yes.
Picking up the bottom thread, do you hand crank it, or do you try to do it with the pedal? I always hand crank it, I think.
Oh, meaning when it's low, like you
Yeah, when you
loaded
put it
it.
in. It could be that it's not loaded properly in the bobbin
You might have the bobbin in backwards.
with the needle hand crank. Okay. I would check to make sure your needle is facing the right way.
Yep.
That your
and-
bobbin is loaded properly. Sometimes, like, this is going to sound super silly, but whenever I'm running into a problem, I'll just
Take everything
take
out.
everything out, and then I'll reload the bobbin and rethread it, and a lot of times it solves itself, because there was something small that there was a small mistake in doing that. So that's a good place to start.
But it sounds to me like you're.
What kind of leather is your leather? Leather.
It's bridal veg tan.
Bridal veg tan. You heard it first. What's the lightest white leather that the 26 can sew nicely? Will it sew denim and canvas? Yeah, it can. I mean, it can definitely sew.
I mean, it
Denim
could
and
sew.
canvas.
I probably wouldn't sew denim and canvas on there.
It might be too thin, actually.
That's what I'm thinking. Unless you're doing like a lot of it.
I think the lightest it can do is like 4 ounces. maybe
Yeah.
slightly less. You
I
don't.
would
You really
say
want to be in like the
8
middle of your
is-
machine's capacity. You don't want to always be like sewing super light or super heavy for what the machine can do. But 4 ounces is like, I think, a good,
Is the thinnest.
is the thinnest.
It could probably do 3. But
Probably.
I wouldn't go any lower than that.
The take-up leather has to be all the way at the top of the stroke in order for the needle thread to be cleared the bobbin case. Yes. How many bags can you get through with 1 bobbin load? Oh, jeez. Depends on the bag.
That's, yeah. That,
I wish
I
there was
just
like an
check it-
infinite bobbin. Like, I don't know why it doesn't exist for like the machines where it's just the same deal. It's like connected
to a spool.
to a spool. I
Yeah.
mean, that doesn't make sense to do, but that would be awesome. Technology.
Yeah, I have no idea how many bags I could do on a single bobbin, but I just am constantly checking the bobbin to make sure there's enough in there before I start sewing. Because you never want to
Never really
run
thought
out in the
about it that
middle of
way.
anything.
It's always,
Why-
like Leanne said, is it enough for what I'm doing right now?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
And of course, lifting the foot release, tension springs. Dear friend, please tell me the type of leather in your direct message. We just answered that. It's an English bridle. It's from Wicked and Craig. Made in Pennsylvania. Good to know, thanks. To pick up the bobbin thread, you need to have some tension on the needle, otherwise it won't form a loop. Pull the needle thread to the rear of the machine while hand cranking.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. There's so many things I do that I
Yeah.
don't think about. But yeah, you always like pull it. You have to pull it at the same time.
So
Just
hopefully
like
that
any
helped
other
you.
machine.
Because we came at it from every angle.
I mean, I could really quick load it, and you could put it on the camera.
I can't move the cameras right now.
No.
Since we started doing doubles, can't do that.
And you could, just only one person would get to see it. Only one platform would get to see it. And the
I
other
need to
people
do
just
like
have to watch
like a rig that's connected, so it wouldn't matter, and I could
it.
do.
Or we
then I
just
could
need
do
to
that.
hire a cameraman.
Hire a cameraman. It's called Wesley.
Yeah, right. You do
Wesley
not want.
cameras a lot.
I don't think that would go well.
No, he would just get lots of shots of the ceiling or floor or something.
Although he was filming, remember he was filming himself sewing on
Yeah, he
his sewing machine.
goofball.
It's pretty cute.
Coming up to PA too. Personally, I'm on Philadelphia. Love your style and inspiration. Awesome, welcome.
Do you have anything else we had to cover, like on your notes?
I can't. We're winging this one.
Okay.
So
Welcome to a
winging
winging
it. We're winging
episode.
this one. I mean, we wing most of them. Let's be honest.
I was gonna say we wing like pretty
is-
much all of
This
them,
is super wings though.
but like
Do you send tracking info once a bag ships out? Yes.
Yes.
So you should get, let's go through the process. You place an order, you should get a confirmation, and then you should also get tracking once that happens,
once it ships.
once it ships. We take about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on when you ordered it, typically for a lead time. So don't worry, we haven't forgotten anyone's bag yet. So
So far,
we
so
don't forget about people. We have a process.
good. It's all there in the.
So that's that. Yeah, it would be kind of silly to forget.
You kind of
bag.
can't.
You kind of
because
can't. I mean, the way we have it set up, you can't forget a bag.
It's coming right from the website.
We try to batch things. So, like, if some people get lucky. So if you're like the last person to order that happens to also be part of a batch from like one of the first things that gets ordered, like you get yours a little
Right.
bit earlier
If you
than somebody else.
Order
but-
the same style bag, same color as the first person.
Yeah.
Then
Ba, ba, ba.
you might get your bag first.
You might. Maybe you won't. Depends how. We try to batch for efficiency through the whole batch. I love that your son has his own sewing machine.
Yeah, we took the needle out just for
Is
everyone.
chili technically a soup? I don't want to talk about chili.
Why?
It offends me.
It offends you?
Yeah, it's the beans.
You don't like chili.
Just excited for mine is all. Oh, okay. Yes.
Wait, do you not like
You'll definitely
chili?
get a notification. I'm indifferent on chili. That's the alarm you set.
Oh, I was like, what is that noise? Thank you. Now I have to go stamp that really fast. It worked.
What bag did you order? Because I might be able to give you an idea. We have it loosely broken down like by weeks so that we can give people estimations if they ask for them. Teach me the ways of batch production and video production. I would love to. That would be fun. Daniel, that would be. I was talking to Leanne about next year, and if we were able to swing being off for some time in August,
Yeah.
I feel like we want to do like a leather road trip where we meet everybody. That would be cool.
That would be
Mini
so fun.
Luna for your anniversary sale. Is it the sienna and tan one? Just gonna leave the camera. Not really a big deal. Yeah, it's got to be that one. Boom.
So we're starting on that after I finish
Yeah,
this grouping.
I actually just burnished that this morning, so I'm gonna paint it and then prep it for Leanne, and that'll be
The next thing I work on, right?
after
After these.
this. It's the next thing.
Yeah.
Personally, use a weaver sewing machine. I'm constantly having trouble with the tension. Any suggestions in general or sewing machines?
I don't know anything about that machine because I've never used it.
I haven't either, but I think generally what you'd want to do, if you haven't changed the needle in a long time or oiled it, you should do that.
For
That's
sure.
like a good
That's like
place
a
to start.
first step.
And clean out like the bobbin area, just clean the whole thing also.
Get some compressed air.
And
So one thing that I do that I know sometimes people are kind of like, oh, wouldn't have thought of that kind of thing. Because there's many times where I'm sewing through one layer of leather, which is about 4 to 5 ounces, and then switching to 2 layers, which would be about 8 to 10 ounces. And when I do that, I am changing my bobbin tension every time. I found that changing the bobbin tension is the easiest way for me to change the tension the same every single time because it's just an itty bitty screw, and I just know that if it's facing this way, it's for 2 layers. If it's facing this way, it's for 1 layer because it's a very minor adjustment. So that would be my one thought or my one piece of weird advice.
the problem people run into with tension is like, it's about the machine's
all about
it's about a balance. So if like you super over tighten the top, and it also like it is immediate, but it's also not, like it can like kind of like adjust
It does.
afterwards.
Well, what's funny too is like after we switched from the thread we used to get to the is it Dunmore?
Dunmore.
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 After we switched to that thread, when I first like tested it a bunch of times, I was like, oh, this is great. I can keep the tension at the same.
Yep.
And now that I've sewn with it for a while,
You've
like months,
micro-adjusted
I
it.
have micro-adjusted it. It is slightly different.
Yeah.
Well,
that
but
makes
it's
sense.
fine. Yeah, I figured it out. But yeah, I mean, so the basic thing is like if your knot is popping up, that means either your tension is too loose on the bottom or too tight on the top. If your knot is popping down, then your tension is either too loose on the top or too tight on the bottom. You kind of think about like the knot is like getting pulled up or down. So you can think about like who's doing that, right?
And they should like
You
should
want the
lock
knot to be
together.
in the
The
middle,
knot
yeah.
should be like in between your material. I was gonna say
When I
something.
first started sewing on sewing leather and like working with tension, I actually printed out one of those little charts that shows you if it's like this, then this, and if it's like that, then that, and just kind of would look at that all the time. But once you understand really how it works, it's pretty easy to figure out.
I think the other thing to know is like when you adjust the bobbin tension on the bottom, it's amplified. It's like 4 to 1. So like
Yeah, that's why it's
you want
such
to do
a
it
tiny.
in
It's a quarter.
turns
Yeah.
max at a time. Because if you go like and crank it, you're gonna confuse your machine
And yourself.
and then you'll be upset.
Yeah, everything on a sewing machine as far as tension goes should be quarter turns.
And I think if you're totally lost, what you can do is like loosen. I think you loosen everything. Don't quote me on this part, but like you loosen everything and then you rebalance.
I mean, you've done that before.
I have, but I did it with the help of a video next to me, so I knew I wasn't messing it up.
The other thing that can happen is it's called flagging, and that has happened to me a few times. And the reason it happens, I think, to a lot of leather workers is because we like to have that tension rod. Is that what it's called? The foot tension rod?
The tensioner, I think, on top.
We like to have that as loose as possible because it can, if it's tight, if it's giving a lot of pressure to your presser foot, it's going to leave a mark on your leather. So we all like to have that pretty loose. But when you have it too loose, you will get a flag, which is like a loosey-goosey stitch that is just kind of can come out of nowhere. Yeah,
and that could be from having a burr on your shuttle hook. It could be from
your
your needle being messed up or whatever, bent or.
So always try those two things first, but a lot of times it's the.
I always end up with a knot on top or bottom instead of the middle when going through multiple thicknesses.
Yeah, so you need to know your machine's tension for each type of thickness.
Leather road trip. Yeah, that would be awesome. Hello from Italy. Hello. You can disregard the last question because you answered it all on that one. Thanks.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
I don't know what I answered, but I did it.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it can be like. I think it can be intimidating to look at a machine and then be like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
But you never want to change anything like super drastically.
Yeah.
Unless you're resetting the whole thing, and then you want to keep it as close to like its ideal home position as much as possible, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And that's also too, like, it's hard, I would say, like, doing like custom type work, right? Where you might be working with different leathers all the time, or different ounces all the time, or different even types of leather all the time, because it would require you to change your tension all the time and like figure that out, which is crazy.
Well, like that's why a lot of places will end up having a lot of like the same type of machine, like we
and
have
set
two.
for different,
It could
exactly.
be set for different
like
leathers.
I could potentially see, you know, when because we're going to be releasing milled in spring, and milled requires a slightly different tension. I could see like if that went like crazy, like maybe we need a third machine. That one's just for milled. You know what I mean? Like something like that, because it is that specific.
Well, and especially not that I don't know what anyone's situation is, but if you hire somebody and then
Oh yeah.
you like having one person dedicated to a machine,
Yes.
to me makes a lot of sense
It does.
like then
Everyone sews a little differently, whether you realize it or not.
well, it's like driving a car. Everybody brakes differently.
Oh yeah,
Some people don't know that if you take your foot off the brake, that's the same as braking.
What? But off the brake? You mean the gas?
No, if you take off the gas and not touching the brake is a form of braking.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
You said take your foot off the brake
you
as a
know.
form of braking.
Anyway.
No, it's not.
I definitely have a love-hate relationship right now. Eventually, I'll get set up where I need it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it takes time, and
it
it took us time, so don't feel like
Yeah, for sure.
anything weird is happening. I think that sounds
If
totally
it makes you
normal.
feel better, before I sewed on sewing machines, I didn't realize I had to hold the thread in the beginning to go.
And you just constantly made
And I was
giant
like,
knots.
how does this even work? I just get knots all the time. I think I was trying to make like a t-shirt or something. I'm like, this is so dumb. Who knows how to do this?
You just have to hold those threads for like a couple stitches.
And it's something that small. I mean, it made me feel like an idiot. But once you learn that that's what you have to do,
Then you're good to go.
then you're good to go. You can also put a little bit of masking or painter's tape
Oh, on the foot.
around, tape flag around the thread, or foot tension knobs, so you don't forget where the adjustment is that you made.
Oh, yes, yep.
We actually we did that over there with our
Oh
heat
yeah,
press,
with the heat press.
because it can go up and down,
sometimes we need to lift it for certain bags.
or if we forget that there's a
Situation.
monogram and we have to
Exactly.
retroactively do it.
Exactly. And I have to make it, oh, it's time to lift it up.
But yeah, marking your machine can be good.
Yeah.
You can probably even put like a top, bottom, left, right, like a compass on your top tension if you
yeah.
want to see.
That's a good idea.
Or like they could be 2 different colors so that you know. So you can know you're doing quarter turns or half turns or full turns.
Yep.
Um,
That's why I don't like to mess with the top tension, because there's no way to know. It's so silly.
I mean, whenever I've done it, I've like done it with my fingers where I'm like, this is north, you know.
Yes, but like you can't go, once you've done more than one of those, you're like, shit, how many to get back to where I was? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it is more confusing.
yes. But marking it obviously would help that
If you
situation.
can't remember it, you can write it down too.
This is true.
So here we are.
Tension talk.
Tension talk. It's getting tense. Oh, I'm out of here.
And here comes, I knew that that joke was coming. Can you hear me that way? Yeah. Tension talk with Nick.
What else?
I don't know, but your stomach is making some serious noises.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
I mean, it will be in a minute.
Hmm.
Distance between seams. Distance between seams.
You mean like
Like a seam allowance?
Seam allowance?
Distance between the edge of the material. Most modern industrial machines have a little dot on the thread tension knob, so you know where you're at. I don't know why that's not a thing with leather machines.
Yeah, that's exactly
that's
what I'm
true.
talking about. Because my old like home machine has that. I don't know why it's not on there.
They want
So
you to be
silly.
confused. It
They
has
want
to
it-
be terrifying.
They really want you to call them up and have a conversation about how to fix it.
Does the 26 come with a video or good instruction manual?
I mean, you're pretty
I
much
don't
ready
remember.
to go.
I think it definitely came with like instructions. Like you have to put it together when you get it, unless you're picking it up complete. And I know that there's a guy, I don't want to say his name wrong, I think it's Van Plu. He has been doing a bunch of videos for Cobra
Oh yeah.
on their website, and there's like, I think like 100 of them at this point. But he has a lot of good tutorials. Distance between seams, question mark, 4, 4.5, or 5 millimeter. Oh, you're asking for our, I don't know what our thread distance is. We've adjusted it a very long time ago. And
Oh, the stitch length?
yeah, stitch length.
Oh. I have no idea.
Good question. I just don't really know. Yeah, we adjusted, it's really funny.
When we got the new machine.
When we got the new machine, I had to like relive adjusting the old machine to figure out how to get it like as identical as
match.
possible.
Yeah.
And that took at least a day
Of like trial and error, basically.
of trial and error. And I was just trying to match the other machine, so.
Actually, you know what we did, I think? When we first did it, we tried to match it as close as we could to like our stitching needles. Or
Yeah,
our,
initially we did. I'm going to guess
our stitching irons, I mean.
it was probably, I'm going to guess it was like 4 millimeters, but I don't really know. I don't want to give them wrong information.
I don't know anything about millimeters, so. Silly American.
Pricking irons.
Pricking irons, that's the, what did I say? Stitching irons?
I don't
I'm
know.
making up my
I don't
own
know.
terminology over here.
But yeah, it depends on, like, if you want to choose different thread sizes, you can get a different aesthetic with your pricking iron size, all that fun stuff.
But I would say if you have a set of pricking irons that you like, I would just match it to that as best you can, because if you
True.
ever have to do any hand stitching that way, it'll match your
It's got a free
machine.
trial of a 3D clothing modeling program, and I've been messing around with it. It's super cool. Would you ever consider going digital for bag design?
No.
Leanne just said no.
No offense.
No offense, she says.
I mean, no offense by that. I just
think-
love doing it a favor.
But yeah, wouldn't it be? It would be kind of cool if you designed it, and then we had someone like mock it up digitally.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then you
I've
could
done
see
that
it.
before
But like
with
that defeats kind
Photoshop.
of the purpose of
I mean, I guess the question
Designing it.
is, does whatever the program is that he's talking about, does it give you a pattern in the end? Like, do you get pattern pieces from doing that? Because otherwise it kind of seems a little silly.
So is it a design program that you can then like model in 3D, or is it that do you pattern in there and it like creates it, or like how does that work? Because I don't know. Because we haven't. I mean, we just do like Illustrator, Photoshop, but nothing like a 3D rendering. It starts with a 2D pattern and models it in 3D. Okay.
Oh, that's
Send
interesting.
you some screenshots. Yeah, that would be cool to check out. Interesting. I can definitely see how that would be helpful. I
Yeah.
still feel, I agree with Leanne, I still feel like, for us at least, like the seeing it and like being able to manipulate it with your hands and the scale of it definitely is like,
I guess the real question is, have you used it to the point where you've taken the patterns and actually made it into a bag? And
Okay.
does it look the same? Because I would just, it's got a lot
Danielle,
to
is it
account
called
for.
closed? CLO 3D. That's funny. Oh. And then, I don't know if you could hear Leanne, she asked if you've taken a design from it, like start to finish, to make and to recreate, and did it match your expectations? I mean, we definitely are not opposed to adding technology to like our
No.
process. We're very thoughtful about how we do that. A little Amish that way. Nobody. All right.
Just you.
Just me. But that would be interesting to see for sure. Jamie's been wondering about that program.
Oh, interesting. So it's, I mean, it sounds like it's a fashion-based program, so I would imagine it would take into account like the thickness of your material and stuff.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, you might be able to input like your material thickness. That could give you seam allowances that make sense probably based on what you put in there.
Yeah.
It probably is. So I think the challenge, just like any kind of technology, is to make it seem like technology didn't help you do it. Or it doesn't. It's not that way simply because that's easier to do in the program versus easier to do, like, easier to recreate the vision in your head. Like I think when Photoshop first came out, we were severely limited by like the kind of brushes you could get or like make in Photoshop, and now like you can recreate like the pressure on like a pen. There's so many different nuances now that make it seem more like a person created it traditionally. But it's funny, we're always trying to get to like the handmade part about it. I basically loaded one of my standard patterns in there and told it which seams to sew together, and it just renders it in 3D on a sizing model. Oh.
Oh, so you're not making a pattern in there then? She already had a pattern.
This is Daniel talking.
Oh, Daniel's used it?
No.
Or something different?
So, I mean, I guess it would work the same. If you made a pattern in it and just told it what to do, it would still 3D render it.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like I would need a tutorial on
Yeah,
how,
we need to
how
like
best use that stuff.
go watch some YouTube videos.
YouTubes.
Good old YouTube University.
That sounds cool, though.
It does sound cool. Don't worry, I'm almost done punching these holes.
It's getting weird. She's like over there doing something.
Doing something?
Doing something. Making a bag or something.
Some silliness.
I just finished reading Pinnacle.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah. Well, I skimmed through I got to a point and then I skimmed through like the last bit, and it was what I thought it was. So.
That doesn't sound
It wasn't bad.
positive.
it's meant for like larger businesses. So it's not that it wasn't interesting, it just didn't apply directly to what we're doing. So like it was hard to kind of power through some things, like applying some principles to like a group. And I was like, I do know, like, that wasn't like new information for me.
I was gonna say you also already worked in that sort of scenario,
So moved on to
Yeah, now what are you reading?
0 to 1, I think. Peter Thiel?
I don't know why you're looking at me like I know the
Peter?
answer.
So that one was recommended, so I'm going to read that one. And
What's it called? 0 to 1?
0 to 1.
And what
I didn't
is-
even start it yet, so calm
But
down.
do you know, like,
I took it out of the bookshelf and I said, you're next.
you're next? Sounds like you're gonna murder it.
But it was pretty good. It's like, especially if you don't have any experience, like facilitating change in a large group, I think it would be helpful for sure. But that is a weird place I have experience in. Which probably is funny for everybody involved. But it's good. It was roughly, I think they said it was roughly for people who are at like the $2 million a year mark with like 10 employees. So if like you are a 10-person employee group, that might be helpful for you. And it's good just to see like later down the line if that's something you want to do. What is Wes going to be for Halloween? Did he decide that he was going to be a haunted house?
He wants to be a haunted house, and
That's what he
I
said.
kind of like the idea of making that costume. So we always have the backup costumes in place of fireman, pirate,
Backup
dinosaur.
costumes. So the one year you might remember we made
Last year. That was last year.
Was that last year?
Yes.
Feels like 6 years ago.
I know.
A USPS truck out of his little tractor thing.
And
he
a
was
mailman
trying to think
costume.
of like what can you make us do that's like a vehicle, and we told him we're not making you a vehicle this year.
Yeah,
Took way too long.
it did. I thought my head was going to explode. It was fun, and it was super cute, and he loved it. But, like,
It would be cool if it wasn't doing like busy season for us.
that's the problem. I need to, like, know what he wants to be in summer and then make it. But he'll change
like
his mind.
like his
probably.
ideas aren't going to change by the time it's
I know,
October.
I know. Well, the other idea that we were both talking about was, but I think would end up actually being more time consuming than a haunted house, was a lightning bug.
Where
like
where do
that
you buy Texon Bontex 0.6 millimeter? I can't find it anywhere in South Africa.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I'm not sure. Good luck. I don't know if anybody else knows what Bontex or Texon is. It sounds like
It sounds like
would
it'd
be
be a thread
like
or a
interfacing.
glue. Oh, yeah, maybe interfacing.
Instead of, I want to go as the Fleur DeLorean. Wear a Mandalorian helmet with a tank top and cut off jeans and shorts, and pushing a stroller with a stuffed alligator in it instead of a baby Yoda. That could work. That'd be ridiculous.
I love the idea of doing a lightning bug for Wes. But I do think I thought of the idea too late, so maybe if he's still into it, we can do it next year. But I like the idea of doing a haunted house because I can just use cardboard boxes. And then the other idea he wanted to be was a bat because his grandpa hates bats, and he thought that would be a good way to scare him. Trying to think if there was any other ideas that he came up with. But I really like the haunted house idea, so I think that's probably what we're gonna do. And I feel like we could put like Christmas lights in there so that it looks like, you know, certain rooms in the house are lit up, and then I don't know if it's possible, but I'd really love it if somehow we could make it so. Do you know if it'd be possible to make it so like a smoke machine is inside of the
That doesn't sound
haunted
dangerous
house?
at all. Dry ice. Open all the windows though.
in the little house? I'm saying
Oh,
to
inside
put
of-
inside
no.
it so smoke could come out.
I don't know what smoke machines use.
It's definitely not dry ice, is it?
No, it's definitely not dry ice.
I was gonna say that would be really
that would
dangerous.
be dangerous.
Oh no, but maybe they make like tiny little smoke machines that could stick inside.
Daniel, the same guy that wrote Pinnacle, also wrote a book called Buyable, which I liked.
That sounds
Which
good.
is why
Why you
I
bought
got the
Pinnacle.
second book.
Yeah.
Lightning Bug is amazing. Very painstaking work. She cries the whole time she makes bags. It's so painful. We've gone as Baby Shark family for the past 2 years.
Oh my god.
My daughter wanted it the first year, then my son wanted it the next year.
Oh, that's so funny.
We gotta reuse the costumes, so we weren't
Yeah.
complaining. Yeah.
So I wanted to be Godzilla when I was 4, and my mom made me this fantastic Godzilla costume, and we still have it. And Wes was Godzilla, I think when he was
Was that 2 years ago?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I think when he was 3. He wore the costume. My nephews have worn the costume as well. So I also like the idea of making really cool costumes that can be passed down from generation to generation. Also, Wes was a moth one year. I feel like that was my worst costume I ever made for him. But I was very stressed out. We had just moved. That was the first year we were in this house.
It's all a blur.
It is.
The whole thing is blurry.
And then he was also a Lego piece. I think that was his first costume was a Lego piece.
The Lego piece was at the old house. I do remember that.
Yeah, I think. Oh no, his first costume was Max from Where the Wild Things Are. That was a great costume. I did a
When
good
he
job
was-
on it. When he was,
3 months old?
yeah, yeah.
Or a year and 3 months?
No.
3
His
months?
his first Halloween.
Yeah.
Then he was a Lego piece.
Yeah, because he was walking around.
Yeah.
He was yellow.
And then he was a moth. Then he was Godzilla. Then he was the mailman.
Are you guys doing any? I'm changing the subject. Do you have any crazy plans for 2024? Strategy-wise? I've been thinking about that lately.
Of course you have.
Of course you have.
Watch out. I'll knife you.
No. I have to change my blade. It's so dull.
It's so dull. I don't know how you use it. I used it the other
Well,
day and I was like, what is
I have to
this?
put way too much force on it. Don't do that. Don't recommend it.
That's very unsafe of you.
Super unsafe. Every time I use it, I'm like, I should change it, and then
It's
I
a
don't.
butter knife.
I will
But the
next
second
time.
you do, you're going to be like, why did
Oh,
I
yeah.
wait so long?
I think this fresh air is messing with me.
I told you, it makes me tired. It feels great,
Well,
but I do want to
I
take
have
a nap.
seasonal allergies, so I've been taking seasonal allergy stuff.
So maybe
Plus fresh air. I think
Yeah.
it's just making me like loopy.
is that why you
is
have
that a
Giggle
side effect?
Fest?
I don't know. Probably giggles over here.
That's what it says on the
can,
antihistamine.
can produce giggle
Can
fits
giggle
of
out.
giggles.
Fits of giggles.
Fits of giggles.
Giggle fits.
Giggle fits. Let's take a seat.
Oh boy. I think you should start that fire up and have a fireside chat
Take a nap.
by the fire. Whoa. Oh, I need to dust this table.
I'm thinking about becoming a millionaire in 2024. I don't have an actual plan. I'm just thinking about it.
Maybe like the lottery.
Gotta start somewhere. Maybe the lottery. Well, do the math, right? 1 million divided by.
Get your pen out of here.
What about your pen, right?
That's yours. These are all your pens. I don't bring
I don't know why I
pens up
have
in
this
here.
problem.
Because I don't either. It drives me nuts.
It's a good goal
Thank
with no
you.
plan. I like it.
I like your goal of maybe not leaving pens and coffee cups all over my table.
So don't leave pens and coffee cups. That's a real business related. Super businessy.
You know what my goal is?
What's your goal?
To say no more often.
Say no more often?
Yeah.
To what?
Just stuff.
Just stuff. That's a good goal. I like that goal.
I say yes way too much.
I only say no.
I know you do, which you say too much as well. But you've been getting better at it.
That's why we're a good balance. Yeah, I have been. I've been trying.
Yeah. Well, I need to work on the no part. And I don't mean for
Well,
Wes necessarily.
No,
I
know what
mean
you're saying.
more for myself.
Yeah, you got to give yourself space
Yeah, I do.
to do the things you want to do.
Yep.
That's a good goal. I like it.
Just say yes to everything like an idiot.
What?
I said I just say yes to everything like an idiot.
Well,
I just,
it probably, yeah. There's
a
a lot of
people
reasons why
pleaser.
people do that.
I know, it's a problem.
Overcommitting is a problem, especially in small business.
Oh my God. It is my biggest problem, I think.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like writing down like a yearly plan.
Because then you know when to say no.
Because it might be an ambitious plan, but like if it's not going towards those goals, then the answer is no.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the ideas can't change, but
Right.
yeah. I made it. Hello. It's just me right now. So prepare to be bored.
And it's also been a really
Oh,
weird
there she
life,
comes.
as usual.
Yeah, it was weird. If you rewatch the beginning, you'll be upset.
Or you'll laugh.
Or you'll laugh.
I
Or you'll
think
cry.
I would probably laugh.
It's a drama. It's like a dark comedy.
Okay.
Back to the button up. Yeah. I mean, it's getting chilly again. I need to find a place to get like shirts because all my shirts are so old at this point,
They're like falling apart.
and I'm like so mad that shirts have elastic in them that I give up too easily now. Even some of the clothes.
No, the thing that I
I was
find.
even looking at clothes like European clothes,
Yeah.
and they all have elastic in them.
I know.
It's really frustrating.
I know it is. But I think your problem is that if a company has one shirt that has elastic in it, you give up.
No, I mean,
You give up
Yes
on the
and no.
brand. Yes, you do.
I do. I want a brand that I'm going to be a real consumer right now, but like I like a brand that like has a full vision of what they're doing, so that I can trust that when I go back to them, it might be similar.
Yeah, no,
Is
I
that-
get it. I get it. But I feel like you're used to shopping like a man.
American Giant and Emoji and Willie's. I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I think my sweatshirt's from American, or I looked at American Giant when I was getting a sweatshirt.
Emojine or however you say
Duluth.
that. And Willie, I've looked at their stuff a bunch. They have good denim. I don't know about their shirts. I never really
I
looked
just
at
need
their
a button
shirts.
up, guys. It's not hard.
Without
Yes to full vision. See? Well, like it's
elastic in it.
and like I used to shop at J. Crew all the time just because like the fit was fine, and it was
And
good
nothing
enough.
was stretchy at the time.
And nothing was stretchy. It was just cotton, which is all I want. But it's just, yeah.
Now you're gonna have
Maybe
to
I'm
start.
an old man and I need to scream at some clouds or something.
No, now you're gonna have to start shopping like a woman, where you just have to piece everything together because no
His
company.
villain nemesis name would be the Elastor. Okay. Yeah, especially for some reason it makes me especially mad with jeans and like chinos. Happy Friday.
Wait, was
Happy
that
Friday, Junior.
a European company that
We
you
were just
found?
talking about you.
That European company that you found that you liked, the October one?
They have they do have some.
They have
in
some
of
that-
their chinos. I didn't look at all of them.
Yeah.
I like the style of the company and I like the style they put out.
Yeah.
And like I guess if I have to overlook it because nothing does, like everything has 2% elastine.
Yeah.
Like I would go with that. That's why it's so frustrating. Like it shouldn't even be a question. They're pretty expensive but last forever, and I'm fine with that.
Who is it?
AG is made in Cali and IW is made in Tennessee. Yeah, I'll look them up. And I used to buy from Bonobos before they were bought by Walmart and then resold.
So someone else has them now, Ian?
They sold them at a heavy loss.
They also went to like super elastic.
Yeah, they did, which is why it was frustrating.
Yeah, I know.
The style is actually, this is a Bonobo shirt, and this is the style, like they got rid of it.
Of course I did.
And I was like, I like this. Is it coming back? And they said, absolutely not.
If
'Cause
you like it, definitely not. Not for you.
One thing
what
I've
they did.
learned is that a lot of the most interesting flannel fabrics have polyester content because they use recycled poly for the nappy speckled part. See, I'm not a slub kind of person.
That's not true. You like a speckly thing sometimes.
I
Not
have
within.
one thing that has that, and it's a wool cardigan.
That's true.
But
You like it, I
I-
guess, in
I like the way it looks. I
You-
wouldn't wear it.
like yeah. How about in pants? Like a pair of wool pants.
Wool pants might be different. Depends if they're brown. I'm all.
Well, also if it's wool, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is. You just don't like that.
So it's like 84% wool, 16 poly, with the poly's recycled, which makes me feel better about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking, like, I want longevity. Like, I have
Yeah,
some, I
it
have
almost
some
doesn't
t-shirts
matter.
that are like decades old, which is crazy.
I know. It almost doesn't matter if it's recycled, even though that is definitely
Yeah, it's
better
just
because
not
you're
really what I
still
want.
going to be putting plastic back out into the
Onto your body.
and out into the world if you ever got rid of it.
Yeah. Science.
Science is my little circle over here.
Where is elastic in a shirt? So they just weave it in. It's like
It's part of the
they
fabric.
make everything stretchy now, which is, it's elastic, it's elastine. So I started noticing it with pants, and I was like, this is dumb.
Well, yeah.
Because then they don't have to really get the fit right. They can just make,
Oh my gosh, you want to know what something
Boxy things.
I learned about?
what?
This is so messed up. So I've told you guys before about this podcast I listened to called Articles of Interest. They did one about plus size stuff.
Mhm.
And do you guys, if you
Do
know,
they just make it more elastic?
no.
No.
They probably do, but the thing that that came up a bunch is, do you know what the cold shoulder is?
Cold shoulder?
Yeah.
No.
So on a lot of plus size garments, they do this thing called the cold shoulder, which is this cutout on the shoulder, and they try to sell it as like a trend. The reason is because when they do that, the shoulder, because when a pattern scales up, there's a certain mathematical formula you can do for certain sizes. But at a certain point, you actually have to, like, a person doesn't
you have to
grow
repattern.
taller
Yeah.
if they're wider necessarily.
It's the same problem I had with like sleeve length and like if I had a larger shirt, this would just be way
because
too long.
you have long arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they started doing the cold shoulder, and they tried to like make it a trend because it's easier to pattern it because you have more
That was
room
like,
for your shoulder.
yeah.
Is that not screwed up?
Yeah.
Like,
it reminds
and
me
it's-
of like when COVID hit and nobody could produce anything. They were just selling old stuff and calling it new
Yeah.
for like 18 months.
So that's why that's a quote unquote trend in
Yeah. I mean, that's a manufactured trend, which isn't
No, it's
real. Like,
so messed up.
I love your wife's clothing style. Where does she shop?
Thank you.
Especially the black and floral dress.
Oh, that one's from SB, ESBY. They're based in Austin, Texas, I believe. You should definitely check them out because their clothing is awesome. And that dress is one of my absolute favorites that I wear all the time. I have it in 2 different fabrics.
I'm the kind of person that would be really happy to have like a capsule wardrobe and just live
Oh,
for the
same,
rest of my life
same.
and be able
So-
to rebuy things as they wear out.
Yeah.
But that's not how people live anymore.
So this is from Volution, which is a company that doesn't exist anymore. It was my old boss's clothing company. This top was a collaboration with Karen Callahan and another company that I can't remember, but I got that off eBay. And then my pants are Madewell. They are very stretchy, but they're like I need to feel super comfortable today jeans. But I'd say most of where have I been getting my jeans lately? I don't know. I get my jeans usually either Everlane or Madewell, but I'd say like you can't get them
Yeah,
without any
well,
sort of stretch in them. Sometimes they're pants.
Everlane
sometimes.
frustrated me too because they started out in a different way and now they're elastic too.
I like that at least they're telling you like
Rabble,
how stretchy each thing is now, which
Yeah.
is nice to know.
I want
But
it.
like that's like the hardest part is pants. But yeah, SB is where I got that black and white dress from that you're referring to.
We're the same size when I sit.
You should always sit when we do this. Yeah,
That's how we should have done the photos at Domestica.
I think that is what we did. You sat on
No,
a stool, didn't you?
No, I mean, we both sat on
Oh,
a
when we
stool.
went upstairs, you mean, and
Yeah.
did the shoot, like the people, the faces or whatever.
Like this.
My hat would probably have taken you out.
Running to the SB website now, thank you. Love your
Sure.
Style, yeah.
And I don't know if they make that same print anymore. I'm trying to remember the name of that style of dress. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I know that they still have that style of dress. It might just not be in that exact print. But they also, wait really quick, they also do every year like a buyback thing. I think they usually do it at the end of the summer, like going in. I think they do it at the end of the summer where like people can sell back their old SB clothes and then other people can buy them back at a cheaper price. And I've definitely seen that dress in that pattern.
That's cool.
Almost every year, I think. I mean, it's obviously limited sizes and limited numbers, but there's always a chance you could find it that way. And of course, there's always Poshmark and eBay.
What made you guys start a handbag / accessories business? You're off camera.
I know. I'm gluing a pocket in right now. Give me a second. What made it? It was all happenstance. Let's be
It kinda
real.
was,
in a
So
way.
we both went to school for illustration and art, so like, I think we look at the world in a pretty unique kind of way.
We like to make stuff.
We like to make things and create stuff.
And I had been working in fashion within like print and textiles for almost 10 years. And then a friend of ours who worked at a shoe store,
Somebody I used to work with too.
yes, who we're still very good friends with, the storefront had a window display of all these like vintage leather hides, and he was there the day that the window display team came to take it down. And so he asked them, what do you guys do with all that when you take it down? And they were like, oh, we're just going to throw it out in the dumpster out back. And he was like, well, can I have it? Because I feel like I know some people who could maybe do something with it. So he basically showed up at our apartment at the time with a trunk full of leather, like vintage leather, like shoe leather, boot leather type of leather. So that sat with us for a while. I had made bags before that where the bottom, like third,
Like totes.
yeah, like totes. Bottom third was leather, and the top 2/3 was like vintage fabrics and stuff.
That's
So I already knew.
That's not even the same person that makes this stuff. It's so funny.
No, I know.
I think about that sometimes.
I know. So I already knew some like relative construction. But then when we moved to our new home in Philly, our first home that we purchased, I had taken 2 weeks off of work to do something on the house, and then I needed a certain part to do that thing, and it got back ordered, and so I had extra time on my hands, and I'm just not one to sit and do nothing. And so I was like, oh, I should make something with that leather that we have upstairs. And I made these like catch-all bowls, which the outside was leather and the inside was lined with vintage material. And then Nick saw me do that. What are you doing? And you trying to find one?
Go, keep talking.
Oh, Nick saw me do that, and then he's like, well, I want to try making some stuff. And I
Wow.
was like, never seen him sew ever before. And then he made,
I made a wallet, but like
yeah, some wallets.
this was my only.
You didn't even sew that.
No, this is glued. Because I got the seam allowance wrong.
Oh.
I was like, let me try something with tooling leather, and I hated it so much. But I made wallets, and I was like, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, and then Nick basically just kind of looked at me and was like, I feel like we could make a business out of this. And I was like, okay, let's try it. So we basically just kind of started a side hustle, making stuff. And I already obviously loved fashion, working in that to begin with. So, and I've always had a love of accessories in general. Like, I think if I were to go back into working into fashion again, I would go into accessories. It's just something I
Details
personally
are fun.
love. Yeah, I like the details. And I just feel like accessories like make an
If you're
outfit.
getting into clothing, what would be the one garment you'd like to make?
Jacket.
Definitely like a coat, yeah. You guys ever think you'll start making clothing? That would be awesome.
I don't think we would say no to it.
I would love to make clothes I would wear. Whoops. How many Charlottes can I order next month, max? Ooh, make a mass order for my friends. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we have a maximum. Have we ever done that?
Well, we've done that. They're
I
probably
think, like-
asking because of the Chloe.
Oh, right.
So normally we don't have a limit on.
Yeah, for the pre-order we set a limit of 10.
Yeah, we did that
I
because
mean, we are limited by monthly production.
we are. Yeah, so like 60-ish is the most.
I don't think this person. I don't think
I
someone's
highly
buying
doubt that
60
that's what
bags.
you're going for, so you should be fine.
Yeah, there's not really a maximum, unless
you
it's
should be fine.
60. In which case, that's crazy.
Send us an email.
You might want to talk to us.
Yeah.
I just got all the Italian milled 2 to 4 ounce scraps at my job, mostly too thin for me, but good to experiment with.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, Italian milled.
What
is nice.
ounce was it? 2 to 3 ounces.
2 to 4. I mean,
Make
that's
some
like
watch
wallets
straps
and
wallets. Yeah.
you could just make a sister brother company for clothes. It's true. My reception is poor. See you next week. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different world.
We would need
I
a
think,
team.
so, just thinking out loud, I think the biggest challenges are going to be production. Because, like, obviously we wouldn't be able to produce it because it's different sizes,
Equipment.
patterns, scales, equipment.
Yeah, we would have
So
to work with another company.
Partnering with the right manufacturer would be so key, and one that like aligns with what like how we want to see the world. Because like
Yeah.
I was complaining about earlier, everything's got elastic in it,
Yeah.
and that's because people don't. I mean, you can call it comfort, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's easier to manufacture that way. But it takes the quality of the clothing down so far. It's like a yearly, like you can wear that piece of clothing for a year.
I was going to
maybe.
say, by quality, you mean like the longevity of it.
Longevity. And it's so wild to me to like weave that in with like nicer quality fabrics. Like it just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we would have that would be like an enormous like project because we would want to get it right. We wouldn't do it like.
Well, we could always do it the way we do everything, and do it like small batch.
Yes, it would be small.
I mean, we
batch.
wouldn't be we would be designing the clothes, not making the clothes.
You'd have to outsource production for sure, especially keeping H&H running at the same time. Yeah, we don't have enough time.
100%.
When did you realize you had a good thing going with making leather accessories? That's a great question.
Maybe
I think our first kind
First
of
show.
hint was in-person shows. I think the very first show we sold stuff, and I was like, that's
Like we sold like what we would consider at the time expensive bags.
yeah.
Was like the majority of what we sold, and we're like,
Yeah, we sold mostly bags, and
even though we had all the small cheap stuff with us.
just a reminder, people can't hear you over there.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, we saw people's reaction when we were at shows, and they enjoyed what we did. And after a few shows, like it really felt like
Yeah.
people were interested in what we're doing because it was totally different than what they were seeing at the markets. Like when you see a leather worker at a market, you're usually seeing keychains, you're seeing wallets, you're seeing belts, you're seeing small goods.
You gotta make this.
So it was probably interesting for them to see bigger stuff. We were surprised that people were willing to kind of spend that amount of money at markets, but that never became a problem. Or never was a problem. I mean, there was people that were like, I'm never gonna.
Yeah,
buy
you
this.
always get people that are like, what? This is way
This
too
is
expensive.
way too expensive.
Imagine our
There's
price.
not even 1,000 pockets on this.
Yeah. Where's the billions of zippers? I need a billion of them.
But finding people that like were interested
Questions, where's my
in
needle?
us making, interested in like USA designed and made goods was key and helpful.
You see my needles anywhere?
Your needles. If I was a needle.
There's one.
Oh.
Give me that.
I can't pick it up.
It's fine.
Is there another one?
It's fine. I just need one.
Oh, here's the other one.
There usually is two on the table though.
There's usually 2 somewhere hidden. But yeah, I think we were really fortunate and we got lucky. So what we were making was different, so it stood out.
Yeah.
and then it kind of snowballed. It's really, and that's advice I would give to anybody. Like if you're making something, especially something like a commodity, you have like a wallet. You have to either stand out through design, through materials, or both, or through marketing. You have to figure out a way to be different because otherwise people can just go buy a wallet anywhere, right? So
Here's a question I'm going to ask all of you guys. When you're, assuming that, most of you guys on here, or a lot of you guys are makers, when you cut your threads, where do you put them? Do you immediately put them in the trash? Do you throw them on the floor? Do you
put
make a
them
little
in
pile?
on your table?
And then you start making them into little people like I do. I made a really cool zipper guy the other day and you just threw them
Right in the grass. Right in the grass.
Right
Right
in-
in the garage.
right
Right in
in
the
our
garbage
garage.
trash. Grass.
the garage.
Uh,
Keep drinking that coffee.
keep
Seems to
drinking
be
it.
going well for
I'm
you.
waking up.
How many cups have you had?
I don't know.
Did you drink all the coffee?
No, but I made more.
You did?
Yeah, I made more this morning, but I didn't. It's not all. This is like second one. Ish, I think.
But
Two or
you
two
made
or
more
three.
coffee, is the real question.
Yeah, this
Because you
morning.
keep drinking it all and not making more.
That's why I made more, because I said, in my head, I was like, Leanne's not going to like this.
It's
and
true.
I went, well, I guess I'll make more.
Thank you. I hate, it's like the worst when I come downstairs and I'm so tired and I'm like, open the fridge and I'm like, no, I have
Yeah.
to make coffee.
I usually try to think ahead, but it doesn't always work.
Well, the last,
What happens
3
is I'll
weeks.
make like a lot, and then I'll
Yes.
forget for a while,
yeah.
and then
That's
that's just
accurate.
how it works. Let's see. They go on the floor in a little pile. There you go.
Who said that
Throw
one?
them, Daniel.
Okay.
Throw them over my shoulder, aiming at the trash, but miss. That's a good one.
That's what I used to do.
I try to put them in the trash, but they usually end up on the floor.
Yeah.
They're the most frustrating to sweep up too.
They are because I get stuck in like the bristles of
Mostly
it.
the floor besides the trash can, because my ADHD can't be bothered to actually make sure they go in the can.
Yeah. So I used to just throw them on the floor, but I realized how annoying they were to sweep up. So now I make a pile on the table that I will, and it gets like out of control, then I'll go put that pile in the trash. It's my new system. Although the
pile.
sewing machine ones, those go on the floor. Sorry, can't help
I
it.
swipe left and it lands in the trash. There's something, it's hard to have trash right next to your workspace sometimes, because I feel like things
I
that
would need like 80
things kind
million
of
trash
find their way in
cans.
there that shouldn't go in there, but that's just me.
That is you. That is just you.
We do need a vacuum situation. This
Yeah, we
person is
do.
correct. That would be awesome.
Well, Wes wants his vacuum for his birthday. Maybe he can vacuum the basement. Or for Christmas, I mean.
Yeah, we need like the floor set up where you just kind of.
Do you think a Roomba would suck up
No,
threads?
I'm not putting a Roomba down. I don't want, no. Nope.
Nope.
I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like that's fake technology.
The Roomba?
Yeah.
I don't think it
The
actually.
floor's like a big magnet.
I don't know. Like you feel like it doesn't do a good job, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's just like makes you feel like it is, but there's
I
no
mean,
way
that's
it's
probably
actually doing anything.
True. But I imagine it must pick up something.
Yeah, but not for like this environment. Like,
Yeah.
you see this floor?
Let's
What's
see.
it gonna do with all these nubs, all these leather nubs?
Suck them up, hopefully.
No. No way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. In factories,
They're like the size
they
of
have
big
automated
crumbs.
trimmers and little tubes that suck up threads. I like that. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
What is it?
They have like an attachment thing, like that sucks them up,
Sucks what up?
threads. Like
Attachment on a
next to
vacuum?
the machine. Yeah, pretty much. It's like a vacuum system.
Wait. It's part of the sewing machine?
I mean, it's not. I mean, some are. I think some have like compressed air.
I liked how the serger had a little chute.
The serger, I broke the chute.
I know you did. You immediately broke it. But I did like that, and then you
Yeah.
just put trash can under
Well,
it.
the serger was different because it also cut the ends
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the material. But yeah,
You really needed it.
yeah. I'm pretty excited for next year.
I'm pretty sure you say that every year.
I know, but like every year is
That's
different.
good,
So
though.
like I'm excited for this year and next year. I'm excited to see if my ideas work out. That's really what it is.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I guess we will.
I feel like I was looking back at some pictures and like so much has happened
Oh my god, that's yeah.
in this past year. So it's really
Well,
exciting.
as soon as we got to like close to being like fall, I was like, oh my god, we were like stressing about Domestica
I
this
know.
time last year.
Yeah, we were. Well, that's
Like
what,
I was basically having a heart attack thinking about like packing and leaving West for
that's
the
what
first
made
time
last
ever.
year so different too.
Oh, I know.
That was like 4 to 6 months worth of work that was not.
Is not a thing.
It was not a thing.
I know. I think that's why this year feels so weird. I'm like, I feel like I should be more stressed out than I am.
Well, and next year will be the first year that Wes is fully in school.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Next year will be the first year he's fully in school. So like January
Oh, like calendar year, you mean?
calendar year. We got rid of our Roomba when our first kid was born. The last thing we need is a kid puking in the corner and then the Roomba tracking it through the
Ew!
house. Ugh,
Oh my god,
I mean,
that sounds
agreed.
horrifying.
sounds terrible.
But did the Roomba work? We're not going to have any more babies. So
don't
did
have-
the Roomba work?
We don't like if you had an animal, like a cat or something that shed.
Well, that's kind of what I always
I would-
thought, even with Greta, because she would get those like every season, those like, she doesn't shed because she's a poodle, but she would get like dust bunnies.
Dust bunnies.
Don't you
Dust
remember that?
poodles. Yeah, little dust poodles.
Yeah. So I always thought like, oh, that would be nice. Well, and West drops friggin' macaroni all over the place. It's like a macaroni monster.
Macaroni monster.
Ooh, that would be a cool Halloween costume.
Just a piece of pasta.
I've seen that actually before. But I'm thinking
You
of
should
making
stand over
a
here.
macaroni monster.
Bye.
Don't you think that would be cool?
That would be funny.
One year I just want to make him into a monster, but like make it a cute, funny monster. So like not specifically one that exists in like the nomenclature yet.
Krampus.
Oh god, he's terrifying.
It's pretty pale. He could be a leprechaun.
Ew, like the movie Leprechaun where he's like real scary
Picked
and
up
has those
small
sharp
items.
ass teeth.
Threads, etc. Didn't do a good job of picking up actual dirt. Yeah.
But I bet it could pick up
It's also good at sucking the corner of the rug.
but I bet it would pick up leather bits and thread.
Oh, that's a good question. How has outsourcing the straps been going?
Oh,
Really-
very
really
good.
great.
Yes.
I was looking up, this is somewhat related. I was looking up a little thing to hold them.
Oh yeah. It's like a little
A
horse.
little horse, strap horse.
Is that what they call it?
I think it's called a horse. But good. It definitely is a time saver.
100%.
And they look great, so.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's been great. And in case anyone who doesn't know about that, we have outsourced a good friend of ours who lives in the United States, who's another leather worker, to make most of our crossbody straps. We haven't gotten through all the colors yet, though.
Yeah, batch at a time. And then
Yeah.
we
That's
still
been going really
do like the top handles and anything that's not like a crossbody. we
Or
still
a
do
regular
in-house.
crossbody strap.
But yeah,
It's been
Great
going
question.
great. Yeah, that was totally worth it.
Mhm.
And I'm very happy that we've done that.
I think I have leather coming today too.
Oh,
We got a big batch of leather yesterday.
it's
Actually, I
new
should
Leather
probably-
City up in here.
Yeah. Well, I already got through at least 2 of the hides from yesterday.
That's good.
Yeah.
What more do you have to cut out? Oh, the lunas.
Yeah,
Actual lunas.
all the big,
The big lunas.
really a big batch of big lunas.
Big batch of bigs.
Big batch of big lunas. And then there's a couple other navy and then some black bags I have to cut out. How many bags do you finish in a day?
Depends
So-
on the bag.
Leanna's been on fire.
Yeah.
I think you upped your
probably
bag
did.
production
It's
by
like-
like half a bag at least.
Yeah.
We think in the half bag increments.
Yeah.
I love our Roomba.
Who loves a Roomba? See? Does Daniel have a Roomba? I feel like he would.
He was the one that was talking about it before, about the kid vomit.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that definitely, the strap saves us a ton of time, which is super helpful. Oh, leather hour. Oh, you're in Milan. Oh, are you at, I'm going to say it wrong.
Linea Pelle?
Linea Pelle. I think you are. We will make it to the New York show one of these years.
One day.
I swear. That's definitely one of my goals. This year really didn't work out because we had vacation planned like right before it, and like we would have had to go to New York and then come home and leave like immediately, and that was just way too much. How much time do you set aside to work on a bag?
To work on what?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. But each bag takes a little bit different amount of time because there's different steps. Wait, you seem like you have a Roomba an insult or a compliment? You know
I
what?
want one.
You look like you have a Roomba. I don't know, but you should use that. It depends how you say it. It's like,
Wait,
you know,
who said that? Was
you
that
kinda
Daniel?
look like you have a Roomba. Yeah.
That was fantastic, and I'm going to use that from now on.
Or like, you look like you have a Roomba.
Look like you might have a Roomba. Oh, he totally has a Roomba. That's a good one. I like
I
that.
think it's like, I don't think it's a insult. I think it's like a,
I was just asking if I wanted to know if it worked. I didn't mean it as an insult.
I think it's like a surprised realization. Oh, you look like you have a Roomba. No, it's not.
No, that doesn't make sense. But I like it being an insult, let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't mean
this
it
has
as
been a
one,
great
but-
live, you guys.
Oh my
You
god.
should rewatch
Oh,
it.
you just stepped on my foot.
Oh, that was a foot. OSHA violation. You're wearing sandals.
Shut up. I'm always wearing sandals.
Get you steel-toed sandals.
Ew. That sounds terrifying.
Oh,
We're having a goofy day today.
Yeah. One of my favorite insults is you look like your favorite band is Creed.
Oh no.
They were very large in the 90s.
That is a good insult though. I like that. Oh boy. I'm still laughing about the Roomba one.
Roomba. All right, that's enough of this.
Told you.
What? This is completely unrelated, but I feel like all my spam email has been from someone else named Nick. And
Oh,
I
it
feel
is
like it's
on
intentional at this
purpose.
point.
It definitely is.
Like I send myself email. I actually do sometimes, but that's beside the point.
They probably know that, and that's why they do it.
They're like, this guy looks like he writes emails to himself.
It's another type of
That's
insult.
another insult.
You definitely write emails to yourself, you freak. And I bet you have a Roomba.
I bet you have a Roomba.
I feel like it's another type of insult to like assume someone has a knockoff Roomba.
I don't even know what that is.
They would make other robot vacuums that are not made by Roomba, I think. Probably because I looked at them because I was like, ooh, these are cheaper.
It's another word for a room.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you going to tell everyone your crazy ideas for next year? Of course not.
No, they're secrets
Secrets.
right now, so far. I mean, we talked about the milled. I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I am excited / nervous, and I mean that in a that's going to be a lot of work for me.
Let's
sort
show
of
some
way.
bags.
Sure. We actually have some right now because they're waiting. They're
I'm waiting
like
for these
people
boxes.
people that ordered more
This is
than.
this is a Stella, and this is a regular size Shelby in navy.
By regular, he means the bigger of the two.
Yeah, because the mini is miniature.
Did I make it? Oh. It's trash day, everyone. Can you hear the trash cans?
Those are 2 bags.
There you go. Those are 2 bags. Do I have to stay here because you're
Yeah,
not?
that's part of a. Estella's part of a 3-part order, and then we're waiting on boxes
Some bigger boxes.
for the 2 big Shelbys we have over there. All right. They had the weird knockoff Roomba.
See?
I don't know anything.
Yeah, because you haven't listened to the Roomba.
I definitely have not researched
No, because you
Roombas.
don't want one, that's why.
I definitely don't. So.
You know why?
Because I would break it. I would break it
Because you don't vacuum.
so quick. I vacuum. You just don't know about it.
That's weird.
That's weird. That's weird. What a day. This has been a weird one. What else you guys got? We don't talk about.
So if we're going to get
I got
weird, let's
nothing.
just be weird.
My brain is like broken. These allergies mess me up every year, and I forget about it until it happens, and I'm like, I'm not a real human anymore.
You're a Roomba now.
You're a Roomba. To be fair, the regular Roomba was like double the price.
See?
Probably made in the same factory. Yeah, most
Probably.
likely. I mean, I imagine the
It's like sewing
technology
machines.
difference is not. Yeah, it's like sewing machines.
Where's my scissors?
Your scissors?
It's like my big scissors. My big girl scissors.
That's my big girl.
Oh, they're over by the. Beep, beep, beep. Ow.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be
year's gonna be
tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
I don't know. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's
Friday.
Friday.
So is something happening tomorrow?
I live my life day to day, so I don't really know.
You don't ever know what day or time it is.
Yeah, I
If
don't.
any alarm goes off, he assumes it's time to get Wes.
That's pretty fair.
I don't know
Because
about
my
that.
concept of time is not.
Really warped.
It's not there. So.
Because you're retired. Old man.
You should come over here. You never told us what your 2024 plans are.
Me?
I mean, it's not.
Oh.
They're not like exciting for like customer people or like. It's exciting for me because it gets like I get to like think of things, try them out, and see if it works. But it's not like
Exciting to anyone
exciting to
else.
anybody else but me.
Sounds right.
I was thinking about some of our old designs and how we could, like if we were going to make them from scratch today, would they be how different they would be,
Yeah.
and if that makes sense to do or not. So that was one idea I had, but I don't know. Loving my Ingrid tote. Haven't had a chance to get a proper photo with it because I'm not fashionable like you guys.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad
no.
you're loving it,
We
though.
love seeing that stuff. That's cool. You're more fashionable than you think.
Oh, now you are. Just kidding.
Do you have a Roomba?
Do you remember?
Roomba that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that kind of stuff. It's like small stuff that
Can turn into big stuff.
could be exciting.
So descriptive.
I always look at like improvements to the shop, like that.
Yeah. The
That
strap
strap
horse.
thing, or there's also a.
There's even bigger horses that if we ever have a bigger space.
We're not gonna. Yeah, that's for like if we get out of the basement.
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
For. Yeah,
No, I know.
that would be cool.
That'd be so cool.
But there is
It's such a nice way to store leather.
a different type of burnisher that I was looking at. That's like a table, a small table, and it has different like attachments you can put on top. So I was looking at that. But like we don't need. I don't think we're in a
No.
place where we need like
Not much.
upgraded
Yeah.
stuff.
The only
which is good.
thing I would be potentially interested is the Skyver, maybe.
Like a bell skyver.
hmm
That's a big.
But I don't.
commitment
Part
based-
of me is not sure
Yeah.
if we need it or if it. I don't know.
More designs would have to be
Well, the milled is the thing that makes me think about it.
right. But if we're doing a thinner lining, it won't.
Yeah, I
It
know.
won't matter. I have a big plan for the website next year, but part of me thinks I'm going to regret it. Uh-oh. What's that?
It's probably not. You're not gonna.
My brain says less custom, but my other brain says do more custom.
Oh, your first brain was correct.
Yeah, do less custom.
Yeah.
That doesn't, but offer something different, if that makes sense. So, which I think you do already. So,
Who was that, Daniel?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely do less custom.
Or figure out a way to make custom more efficient and effective for you if you really want to do custom. Which
Or
is probably
like,
why you were looking at that
do custom in like a
program.
very
Specific type of custom.
yeah, or like
these are the
these are your
customizations.
yes, these are customizations you can do. You can build your own shirt or whatever, because you can choose from these collars, these stitches, these buttons.
It's tough because as somebody, I've looked at like customize your like button up
Yep.
situation. I think it's so hard because like the places I have looked at have so many options for fabric that my brain turns off a little bit.
Yep.
And I don't trust that they're all going to be good. So I'm like, well, and even if I get to narrow it down, it's
Well, it's kind of like a menu, right? If there's
Yeah.
too many things on the menu, it's probably like no one can be good at doing all of those things.
right. So
So you're just not you're gonna assume the food isn't good.
well, I've watched some of your short videos. You've shown the back of a cobra. Is there a piece of string wrapped around the mechanism? What's that for? Oh, so that's I mean basically a piece of string, but it is a wick, and it wicks oil to the interior parts of the machine. So you need to keep that oiled, and that just lubricates.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think like it's somehow making the machine work.
You have to take it off; it's gonna break.
Yeah, like it's not like a mechanical part of the machine at all. It's just yeah, it's an oil wick.
Oil wick needs to be there.
It keeps the machine lubricated.
That's why you should be able to order a design kit that has the fabric samples. Ooh, that's true.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm surprised they didn't offer sending samples, because
If they had, it wasn't obvious enough for me to do it because I'm all about ordering samples.
Yeah, you are. You love a sample,
Love a sample.
specifically a fabric sample. The other day we were at Target and we were walking by, like someone had free samples of chips or something, and they were offering them.
Foods.
Wes just took them. He was like, "Okay, thanks," and he ate it. I was like, "What?"
The kid that doesn't eat new stuff.
I know. I was like, "So what we need to do is go to stores that have free samples, and he'll try all
Set tables around the house. Oh, look at this.
Look at this free sample of
Just trick them.
of hamburger meat that you won't eat."
But yeah, I think the custom thing is the same. Like it still needs to be a curated shop. Because it needs to have. You have to know what you're getting when you go there.
Well, also you want to provide the customer with like a certain style. You don't want to
Exactly.
just like I said, like be one of those giant book menus where you're like, what?
It's counterintuitive, but you need to be a lot more specific than you probably think.
Yeah.
My kids love going to Sam's. You don't have to buy lunch.
Oh, there's that. I've been thinking about whether or not we should join Costco, because there's one really close by,
I know, it's up the street.
and they have really cheap gas.
Really cheap. Where do we go?
Nowhere, but we could have really cheap gas, and we could
work in our basement.
get cheaper.
We will walk west to school.
I know.
I don't remember the last time I drove.
I went to turn the car on the other day, and it was not overly happy about me turning the car on. I was like, uh-oh, we need to drive more.
These Sunday drives.
Yeah.
Work from home life, right? All right.
You made a face like you were interested in joining Costco, though. So
I haven't been inside a Costco in a very long time.
I went a long time with Katie.
I wouldn't be opposed to going in one.
But you can't go in unless you're a member.
That's my understanding.
Can Ben take you in? Is he a member? I think John is, because
Listen,
Audra.
guys, I need to go inside of a Costco.
Go with John
I need a giant 5
and make it
gallon bag of marshmallows
mayonnaise. I always think of mayonnaise
Mayonnaise?
and razor blades.
and razor blades. Big combo.
There is only 3 of us. I guess it's not necessary.
Do you want to say? We should say bye.
We should.
We're not really talking about anything.
Let me sew. Why don't you ask them if they have any more questions while I sew this?
Do you have any more questions while Leanne sews this thing? You can't see her. This has been a weird one. So if you have any further questions,
It's been real and it's been weird.
when she's done sewing us up, we're gonna say bye. It's been weird. It's been real weird.
Real weird.
I blame seasonal allergies,
And too much coffee.
too much air, and too much coffee on today. But I'll be right back. See if there was anything I wanted to talk about. When are you normally live? Usually it's Thursdays around 10:30 in the morning. I was thinking about this the other day, if this is still a good time for people. I thought it might make sense for us to jump on like Friday night, like every once in a while,
Friday night. No way.
just to get a different like group of people, just so like. But I mean, you can watch this whenever.
The problem with that is that
Here we go.
nighttime, I am
Leanne
basically
says
a
no.
demon.
This is her saying no.
And I am not in a position to be talking to anyone.
So that was my thought about changing it up just a little bit. Not like all the time, but it would be like once,
You would have to warn me ahead of time.
obviously.
I don't like that idea.
I guess I talked about most of the stuff that I wanted to.
Is there anything on your little list that you missed?
That's what I just looked at.
Oh.
It's kind of I feel like it's kind of like a weird production time. Like we have a lot to just make,
Yeah,
and like
we do.
that's just what we're doing.
Yep.
You want to say goodbye?
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
It's true.
It is. Hopefully, it'll be less weird, but I'm not promising anything.
Definitely gonna still be weird.
Come for the weird.
I'm uncomfortable.
Stay for the weirdos. Get your pens off my table. Take your pens and your tripods and get off my table.
Can you turn it off?
No? You think I can reach that?
No, I don't.
So I definitely can't. Get your stool.
I'm sorry, you guys had to witness this.